They say that life after 50 is when you finally begin to see clearly what matters and what doesn't. You stop chasing so many things, but you also start noticing something else. You notice that your body doesn't always play by the same rules it once did. Foods you used to eat without a second thought suddenly raise questions. You sit in your doctor's office and hear numbers like cholesterol, triglycerides, HDL, LDL, and you wonder if that Saturday morning omelet you love is a secret enemy. For many people over 50, the story of eggs and cholesterol feels like a battle between nostalgia and health. You grew up with scrambled eggs on the breakfast table, maybe sunny side up next to toast and bacon, maybe hard boiled eggs in your lunchbox. But then for decades, you were told to fear them, to cut back, to avoid the yolk, because it was supposedly a heart attack waiting to happen. And so many of us did. We pushed aside the yolk, we ordered egg white omelets, and we watched commercials about cholesterol lowering products. But here's the question: was all of that fear truly justified? And more importantly, what is the real truth about eggs and cholesterol now that you are over 50, when your health is precious, your energy is vital, and your time is too valuable to waste on myths? Let's walk through this together. I'm not here to just throw numbers and medical jargon at you. I'm here to tell you a story, part science, part personal reflection, and part encouragement. Because at this stage in life, food isn't just about nutrition, it's about joy, tradition, and living well for the years ahead. First, let's clear up one of the most common fears. For years, eggs were blamed as a major culprit in raising cholesterol levels in the blood. The logic seemed simple. Egg yolks contain cholesterol, and eating cholesterol should raise cholesterol. But science, as it often does, turned out to be more complicated. Research in the last 2 decades has shown that dietary cholesterol, the kind you eat in foods like eggs, does not affect your blood cholesterol levels nearly as much as once believed. In fact, for most healthy adults, the body adjusts. When you eat more cholesterol from food, your liver produces less, keeping your blood levels relatively stable. This was such a profound shift in understanding that even the dietary guidelines for Americans in 2015 quietly removed the old limit of 300 milligrams of cholesterol per day. That was a big deal. But of course, there's always nuance. Eggs are not just cholesterol. They are also one of the most nutrient-dense foods you can eat. One large egg contains about 6 grams of high-quality protein, vitamin B12, selenium, vitamin D, choline for brain health, and antioxidants like lutein and zeaxanthin that protect your eyes from age-related macular degeneration. For someone over 50 who may be losing muscle mass, fighting fatigue, or wanting to keep their memory sharp, these nutrients matter deeply. And yet, the whisper of fear lingers. What about heart disease? What about clogged arteries? This is where personal context becomes so important. Studies show that for most people, moderate egg consumption, about 1 egg a day, is not linked to an increased risk of heart disease. In fact, some research suggests that eggs may even improve your cholesterol profile by raising your HDL, the so-called good cholesterol, and shifting LDL particles from small and dense, the dangerous kind, to larger and less harmful. That's a game changer. But I also have to be honest. Not everyone reacts the same way. There are people known as hyper-responders, whose blood cholesterol does rise when they eat more cholesterol. And if you already have type 2 diabetes, heart disease, or a strong family history, you should be more cautious and discuss with your doctor how eggs fit into your diet. Here's where I want to pause and ask you something. Have you ever felt caught between conflicting advice? One doctor says one thing, a health magazine says another, your neighbor swears by egg whites, and then your cousin sends you a link saying eggs are a superfood. It's exhausting. And when you're over 50, you don't want confusion. You want clarity. You want to know, can I enjoy my eggs without guilt? My answer, based on science and personal reflection, is yes, with balance and mindfulness. Let me share a story. My father loved his Sunday breakfast. He was a man of simple pleasures: 2 eggs, sunny side up, with whole grain toast and coffee. For years, after hearing warnings about cholesterol, he switched to egg whites only. He would scrape away the yolks, and I remember watching him eat a pale, unsatisfying plate. He did it because he was afraid. But later, when newer research came out, his doctor told him he could enjoy whole eggs again, especially since his overall diet was balanced and his activity level was good. I'll never forget the smile on his face when he cracked that first yolk after years of denial. Food is not just food, it's memory, comfort, and connection. This is why I tell you, don't let fear rob you of joy, but also don't let habit blind you to reality. Eggs can be part of a heart-healthy diet, especially when paired with vegetables, whole grains, and healthy fats. The bigger danger isn't the egg itself, but what often comes with it. Think about the classic American breakfast: eggs with bacon, sausage, buttered toast, and maybe fried hash browns. That's a heavy load of saturated fats, refined carbs, and sodium, which together can harm your arteries. The egg becomes guilty by association. So here's the real shift we need to make after 50. It's not about eliminating eggs. It's about how we frame them within a larger pattern of eating. An omelet loaded with spinach, tomatoes, and mushrooms, cooked in olive oil, that's a nutrient powerhouse. A boiled egg as a snack instead of chips, that's a smart swap. Scrambled eggs alongside avocado and whole grain toast, that's balanced fuel for your morning walk. This is where science meets common sense. And if you've been told that eggs are bad, I encourage you to look deeper. Ask yourself, what does the rest of your plate look like? Are you moving your body? Are you checking your cholesterol numbers regularly? Because eggs alone don't write the story of your heart health. You do. If this resonates with you, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear if you've struggled with the same confusion about eggs and cholesterol. And if you find value in this conversation, don't forget to subscribe so you can keep learning with me. Let's dig a little deeper, because after 50, knowledge is power. Cholesterol itself is not the villain it's often portrayed to be. Your body actually needs cholesterol. It's essential for building cells, making hormones like estrogen and testosterone, and helping your brain function. The danger is not cholesterol in general, but imbalances. Too much LDL, especially the small dense type, combined with too little HDL. That's when plaque builds in your arteries. What influences this balance the most is not dietary cholesterol, but the types of fats you eat, your activity level, your weight, and genetics. That means the butter, the fatty meats, the processed foods loaded with trans fats. Those are the real threats. Eggs, in comparison, are small players in the cholesterol story. I like to think of it this way. Eggs are like a character in a big movie. For decades, they were cast as the villain, but now science is rewriting the script, showing that they might be more of a misunderstood supporting actor who can actually help the hero, your health, if they play the right role. And let's not forget one more thing: affordability and accessibility. For many people over 50, especially those on fixed incomes, eggs are one of the most affordable sources of high-quality protein. Compare the price of a dozen eggs to salmon or steak, and you see how valuable they are. They give you nutrition without breaking your budget. Isn't it ironic that something so simple and humble has been so misunderstood? And this brings me to a personal reflection. I've met many people who, once they crossed 50, started eating less because they felt food was dangerous. They became cautious to the point of losing joy in eating. And while caution is wise, fear is not a healthy way to live. Food should empower you, not imprison you. Eggs are a perfect example of how balance, not fear, leads to freedom. If you've been afraid of them, I encourage you to reconsider. Try reintroducing them in thoughtful ways. Notice how your body feels. Talk to your doctor about your cholesterol profile, but also remember that you are not just a number. You are a whole person with a lifestyle, with habits, with choices that matter more than a single food. So here's my heartfelt advice. After 50, don't let outdated myths control your plate. Instead, focus on the bigger picture. Fill your meals with colorful vegetables, choose healthy fats like olive oil and nuts, stay active, get enough sleep, manage your stress, and yes, enjoy your eggs. When you look at your breakfast plate tomorrow, I want you to see not just food, but the possibility of energy, of clarity, of joy, of strength to keep living the life you want. Let's stop blaming eggs for problems they didn't cause. Let's start appreciating them for the gift they are: nutritious, affordable, versatile, and yes, even heart-friendly when eaten with wisdom. And if this message gives you a little relief, a little hope, or even just the freedom to crack an egg without guilt, then it was worth saying. Don't forget to share this with a friend who's been worried about cholesterol. They deserve to hear the truth too. In closing, I want you to remember this. After 50, every meal is an opportunity to nourish, to heal, to celebrate. Eggs are not the enemy. Fear is. And when you choose understanding over fear, you open the door to a healthier, more joyful future. So go ahead, crack that egg, savor the yolk, and know that you are making a choice not just for your body, but for your spirit. And if you want more conversations like this, more truth in a world of confusion, then join me by subscribing, commenting, and walking this journey together. Because the truth about eggs and cholesterol after 50 isn't just about food, it's about freedom, balance, and the courage to live fully.